Well, Hamas says it's ready for a comprehensive ceasefire deal in Gaza. The group had already agreed to a proposal put forward by mediators 2 weeks ago. Hamas says it's open to a deal with Israel that would see the release of remaining captives in Gaza in exchange for Palestinian prisoners. It also wants the complete withdrawal of Israeli forces from the Strip. But Israel has rejected the offer, saying Hamas continues to, quote, deceive using empty words. And in Israel, protesters have fought with police in West Jerusalem during a large demonstration demanding an end to the war on Gaza. Crowds had gathered outside the home of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. They want the government to reach a deal with Hamas and ensure the release of the captives that are still held in Gaza. Netanyahu has condemned the protesters, saying their actions are like those of what he called fascist militias. Well, for more on all of this, we're joined now by Luciano Zaccara. He is a Middle East political analyst. Thanks for being with us once again, Luciano. First of all, as I said there, Hamas says it's ready for a comprehensive ceasefire deal that's been pushed aside by Netanyahu and Israel. That would see the release of all Israeli captives, the formation of an independent national administration to run Gaza. Why do you think that already, within hours of Hamas putting that out there, Israel turned around and said, no way?
Because we see that I don't think they have ever the intention to reach this ceasefire agreement, because they have other plans. I mean, Smotrich yesterday made very clear that the intention of Israel is to annex more territories, both including West Bank and Gaza. So what is the point in allowing the creation of an entity, either with Hamas or without Hamas, that can represent Palestinians, when the plan is already set that these territories will belong to Israel sooner or later, either to Israel or they will be purchased or acquired by the United States according to Trump's plan. So there is no way that Israel would agree something with Hamas, allowing them to survive politically and allowing a Palestinian entity to be created to represent something in order to create a future territory, a future state or proto-state of Palestinians.
So despite all of these movements, the mediators put a proposal to Israel that Hamas had already accepted a few weeks ago. Now that's gone nowhere. Where do you think that this leaves the idea of a ceasefire at all right now?
Well, unfortunately, we cannot be optimistic about this, despite all the efforts that all the mediators have been trying to impose, and despite the optimism that we could see it was expressed lately. We see that there is no way that Israel is accepting that, because they are not interested at all in reaching that ceasefire. Only is, we see that instead they are issuing threats about destroying Gaza absolutely if they don't release the hostages. So there is no more carrots in this conversation. It's only sticks, and because the objective is not to negotiate anything, not to give priority to the release of the hostages, but to vacate the whole Gaza strips in order to implement what they wanted to do, which is the unification of the Israeli territory, including both Gaza and West Bank.
Yeah, and just on the West Bank, Israel's far-right Minister Bezalel Smotrich has unveiled a plan to annex nearly all of the occupied West Bank, I think more than 82%. He's pushing now for Netanyahu to endorse that plan. What do you make of that move, and do you think that there's the likelihood that it could actually happen?
It could actually happen. I mean, we have to remember that this was not the first time that this has been announced. I mean, Netanyahu, as early as 2015, he already said that there will never be a Palestinian state as long as he's prime minister. He's still prime minister after 10 years, so he's accomplishing his promise. And since 2009, there have been, the intention to annex part of the West Bank, the Jordan Valley. Now it's not a surprise that Smotrich is preparing this plan, because if he's preparing this plan, it's because he has a green light from the other part or the other part of the coalition, including Netanyahu. So the long-term plan is the annexation of West Bank. What is the pace of the annexation, if it's going to be all together, or 50%, 30%, or 82% as it's planned now, is something we are going to see in the short future. But so far, there is nobody that is opposing that. Only we started to hear reactions from the Palestinian Authority, from the GCC, from Emirates, saying that be careful because the Abraham Accords would be at stake. So maybe this kind of diplomatic reaction could stop something. But so far, the plans are there and they will be accomplished.
OK, thank you so much. We will no doubt talk to you in the hours to come as things continue to develop. Thank you again, Luciano.
Don't miss out. Get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news, expert insight. Like, share, stay ahead.